Top news headlines. Museum and Archives of Manipur Legislative Assembly celebrates completion of 3 years. CCSK commemorates first day of democratic government in Manipur. And Imphal East District Police nabs 2 persons along with drug, recovers arms and ammunition from Andro Maringtail Hills. A very good evening and welcome to Mami TV Primetime English News. This is MASACO NINGTHOUJAM giving you the latest news updates. Museum and Archives of Manipur Legislative Assembly celebrated completion of 3 years today. Speaker of Manipur Legislative Assembly, Yumnam Khemchand said, without the contribution of the staffs, the museum and archive wouldn't have been possible. During a function held at the old assembly complex, the speaker released a souvenir. Speaking on the occasion, he credited the staffs for their contribution in collecting the old documents and pieces of the Legislative Assembly. He appealed to them to collect more documents related to the Assembly. The day is observed as the foundation day for the Museum and Archive to remember the first Legislative Assembly meeting of Manipur as the first independent state of Southeast Asia, Khemchand said.
Matamdagi punna kundan nani bai koi apunbagi Southeast Asia yanamba democracy salya hebagi chokthok sabadu asi phawjara kanda October ki tang taraga nipan si ekoina foundation stone hadi masigi foundation de ohengi maramsu British na Manipur thado matunda Manipur gi lengaki democratic form of government yanamba dumba assembly phang yun mitsi the palan tawun to ena khalakanda tunam chana ningjang naba mis lep khibni makha tajane thamjani si electoral colleges ki mini na matang karak ko suyai kak ta suyai lokali budi anum thaje lo speaker de kesu ai welkari heavy prediction like lahori bus staff si sina thawai yaw dagadi lahori bus staff sina thawai yaw dagadi masi bhajana maintain do yaro.
Present politicians must follow the ideals of the forefathers who formed the government on October 18, 1948. President of Committee of Civil Societies, Kangleipak CCSK, Jitendra Ningomba said they must stand for the unity of Manipur like the forefathers. He said this during the commemoration of Kangleipak Manipur gi Puwari the Miam gi Ahanba Lengak Laikhiba Numit, the first day of democratic government in Kangleipak, held in the auditorium of Jawaharlal Nehru Manipur Dance Academy. Speaking on the occasion, Jitendra said the then king of the state handed over power of governance to the then elected representatives for unification of hills and valley people. Hence, it is time the politicians follow their footsteps for the unity of the people of the state, keeping aside their differences. Jitendra said the program was organized to reform the government based on the ideals of the then politicians by taking active role by the valley and hill people.
ngasimak aikogi Manipur da leiriba 2021 sorok tanza sida Manipur da leiriba political party mayam singsi magi wakalon aduga bho lebi ba mi mayam singsi wakalon do mapatam dugi ahlam sing wakalon do chap chana lobu mathok tare singda leiba koigi election lebi bu mun kamu khana singdagi khanba tambak da leiba kamu tambak di khanba masi tokthose thaina ahlam ni singna tawramba apun ba Manipur magi gidamukta lekpi khongphom kanu do adu lebna na bagidamukta Committee of Civil Societies Kanglai Pakna, Ekoi Apunba Manipur, Magi Ing Tapanua Yapava, Aduka, Ekogi Mang Taba, Progressive Weva, Kogi Lebak Amasiam and Nabuk Demongasigi program say, Sin Bizabani, I will put it on Jagi.
A team of Imphal East District led by Officer in charge of Imphal East Commando, K.H. Henry Singh, under the supervision of Additional SP Operation of Imphal East District, Ronnie Mayengbam, today apprehended 2 persons with 600 grams of heroin near public hospital. The 2 persons were apprehended during a check at Hatta Golapati area around 3:30 a.m. Meanwhile, District Police also recovered another huge cache of arms and ammunition from Maringtail Hills. The arrested persons have been identified as Ayajuddin Chesam, 37, son of late Amu Chesam from Sora Makalekai, and Muhammad Abdullah Khan, 27, son of late Abdul Khan from Sekmaijin Thongkong Bazaar. The recovered arms from Andro Maringtail Hills were 1 country-made AK rifle, 2 9mm pistols, 2 wireless sets, 15 live rounds of AK rifle, 21 live rounds of 9mm pistol, 18 detonators, and 15 blank rounds of bullets. Addressing the media at a press meet held at the office of Imphal East Commando, Superintendent of Police of Imphal East, N. Hirojit Meitei said, during a frisking check near the public hospital at Hatta Golapati, they recovered the heroin in 40 soap cases weighing around 600 grams from 2 individuals in an auto rickshaw. The heroin is estimated to be worth around 60 lakh rupees in the international market.
My high reports recently season number Ramani Habigi Koi Madugi Tazabalai Maramdi Lay reports a koi junk kaba kotpa Adumamta late, Loina fresh when looked away, act when a Purpagi look near when it was Ucharibasi. Aduna Mashi recently season Ramba Natraga mean a process Toramba Pyram Bayabgi Oitopale, Aduna Mashi Quina Pavang by Imphal East Commando Yam the Chow estimate nominee had an Tamzake. Harry reporting see Quina Fare, Mabanek, arrest Aure, Dukakoi, Consent Police Station, that is Porampa Police Station, the Koi Huzik in the Ragani. Hakoigi Mayakaba, Nisha Haite, Masiki Mayokta Koi, Gaminats Athakpa. War on drugs, Masakoi continuously Tauri, Masida Koi, narcotic cell, Imphal East Nasu, from time to time Fava, Mayamalagre, Duga Commando, Imphal East Nasu, Masi, from time to time Pai, see one of the big achievement of Kogi Commando Imphal East Kini Haidnai Tamzake.
Governor of Manipur, La Ganesan, extended greetings to the people of Manipur, especially to the Muslim community, on the sacred and auspicious occasion of Milad-un-Nabi 2021. In his message, he appealed to all the people to dedicate themselves to promote the eternal message of love, justice and brotherhood, which the Prophet Muhammad preached to the people, adding that these ideals have special relevance and importance today when human society is affected by evils like religious conflicts, communal hatred and violence. He hoped that the message of universal peace, compassion, tolerance and service to humanity preached by the Holy Prophet Muhammad would inspire us all. He wished for peace, happiness and harmony. Naga Students Union Chandel, NSUC, and its constituent body consisting of Chandel Naga People's Organization, CNPO Chandel, Naga Women Union, Chandel, NWUC, and Naga Chiefs Association Chandel extended support to Autonomous District Council Bill 2021 introduced by Hill Areas Committee Manipur. Supporters of the bill chanted slogans at different parts of Chandel district. Students and people of the district chanted slogans like ADC Bill 2021, we support, tribal rights, we support, table the bill, we support. President of NSUC, SK Joseph Lamkang, said around 650 villages supported the bill. Third 7A side open football tournament kicked off at Yangangpokpi, Mayopung village. The 5-day tournament was held under the theme Talk with Feet, Play with Heart. The tournament was organized by Mayopung Youth Club at the village ground. Intending candidate for the upcoming election for Manipur Legislative Assembly from Phungyar Assembly Constituency, Ashang Kasar, attended the program as the chief guest. Speaking on the occasion, he said players can get success in life if they set their goals. Sportspersons have helped in making Manipur well known around the world. Stating that football and volley are widely played in the hill areas, he stressed on improving the infrastructure of sports in the hill areas to produce good players. Lack of employment, entrepreneurship and tourism in hill areas has led to the impoverished state of the areas. As such, Ashang stressed on the need to give emphasis in these scope.
Sports haibasisu volley sanaba haiba, football sanaba haiba, hockey sanaba haiba, badminton sanaba haiba, etc. etc. Mayam sisu human resources yamna important oiba quality leba makhal item amani.
He also extended monetary support of 20,000 rupees and 4 footballs to the tournament. Ahead of the upcoming general election, more people continue to join political parties. 11 members of Progressive Farmers, a farmers' organization of Moirang Assembly Constituency, joined BJP. They were felicitated yesterday at Modi Bhavan at Moirang Pairimbam Lekai. Speaking on the occasion, MLA of Moirang Assembly Constituency, P. Sharachandra, said, for a progressive country, main emphasis must be given to villages and farmers. Fish farmers and fruit cultivators earning money through food processing must come under farmers. We must encourage the handlooms of the state for self-sufficiency, Sharachandra said.
हानिगे तोहान बा opposition दा लेबा कांग्रेस का बीजेपी का ये नबा सीपीआई ने चाहिबा असी के पोट का से तोथो कांदा मोरांग दंगा सी द न्यू एक्सपेरिमेंट मा हाइको इस हो बुरा बनेबा मसी पृथ्वीराज आइको ये बीजेपी दा संग का लाई पोट से दैट इज द कन्वर्सेशन से को पुनसे ला कांदा खेनबा लेतबा अदु ममकल के इंक्लूसिव ओइ बाइन मसाइजन तो अमत तो हुंदोम द ममकल के अदु ममकल के democracy amakak punamaki oiba sasan nama porak se haru sida ekoi punamak se kutsan narakanda sanjin bagi lambi do tune ko mang na sanjin lai se.
A meeting for the formation of election campaign committee for the aspiring candidate for the election of Manipur Legislative Assembly from Wangkhem Assembly Constituency and former president of UCM Yumnam Nabachandra was held yesterday at Kiam Sipai, Kong Ahanbi. Speaking on the occasion, Nabachandra expressed confidence that he will win the election by getting around 20,000 votes if he contests as a BJP candidate. He sought the support of the people of the constituency in the general election. People from polling number 39 extended their support to Nabachandra during the meeting.
yamna chekna thambilai mama mamanga ekoina vote yamna phangba ngamjakidaba mafam kayamukta ekoi bu kobira kanda nongonda handam umphana pigani hojik leiba MLA si ekoi yamna kanna pamdabagi mawong si hairei aduga hana ekoina pamdadana ithuraga leigraba mi asida ekoina hanjalaga vote pigadaba nate haibana singbasu mokoina hairei.
MLA of Kangabok Assembly Constituency, Okram Surjakumar, released a book written by Langpok Lakpam Manihar from Lamding in Thoubal district titled Candidate Leader. The book is published by Chairperson of CWC Thoubal, L. Romain, and Sub-Inspector of Manipur Police Department, Mainam Dakshin. Speaking on the occasion, MLA Surjakumar said the book will provide knowledge to the youths about the quality of a good leader.
ओजा कोई मतमदा लीडरशिप की अचौबा दरकार लेबा छात्र सिंह कमायना मोटिवेट तौगनी लमदम अमगी लीडर ओय मतमदा फनेम चावगे चावले तो महाकी प्रजा की तमक्ता करम मोंगदा प्रजा मयम हगुलगलिब नहरों सिंहदा नत्रगना अहल लमन सिंहदा नत्रगना सोथरब मयम सिंहदा कमायना मोटिवेट तौरगा मखोयसी कमायना चिखलकनी करम मोंगदा थबक पीगनी करम मोंगदा मयम से पुछनब होनगनी हाइबगी लीडरशिप क्वालिटी है लीडर अमद लेगदबा मोंग मतौसिंग कया अमसु लारिक सिदा यावो माली
Executive meeting for BJP Mahila Morcha 34 Wangjing Tentha Mandal, Thoubal district was held today at the BJP Mandal office of Wangjing Tentha. The meeting was graced by Honorable MLA of Wangjing Tentha Assembly Constituency, Shri P. Brojain Singh, and President of BJP Mahila Morcha Manipur Pradesh, L. Lotika Lema. The meeting was presided by BJP Mahila Morcha Wangjing Tentha Mandal President N. Anandi Devi, attended by President Mahila Morcha Thoubal District L. Damayanti, BJP Wangjing Tentha Mandal President O. Sunil Kumar Singh, General Secretaries of Wangjing Tentha Mandal T. H. Brajakishore Singh and P. Prem Kumar Singh as guests of honor. BJP Mahila Morcha Manipur State Office Bearers, executive members along with Mahila members and workers of BJP Mahila Wangjing Tentha Mandal also attended the meeting. Speaking on the occasion, L. Lotika Lema stated that BJP is a party which works for the welfare and progress of women. She informed the crowd of the various schemes and benefits launched by the BJP-led government under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi at centre and Chief Minister N. Biren at state. She also moved the crowd and appealed to them to extend all their support to BJP candidates in the upcoming Manipur Legislative Assembly elections so that BJP can form government by winning with absolute majority. It's time for a short commercial break. Stay tuned for more updates.
LX Sublimation. Pauna Bazaar Imphal, JMG Shopping Complex, first floor. Mafam asida mug printing, cover printing, t-shirt, keychain, photo frame, sublimation ki pot khuding mug wholesale da pangbigani. Items available are mug printing, cover printing, t-shirt, keychain, photo frame. All the mentioned items will be available at wholesale rate in LX Sublimation.
Welcome back after the break. Moving on to the national news, India reported 13,596 new coronavirus cases in the last 24 hours, the lowest in 230 days, according to the latest COVID-19 bulletin of the Union Ministry of Health and Family Welfare on Monday. It was 3.9% lower than what the country had witnessed a day before. The total caseload in India has now reached 3,40,81,315. At least 166 people lost their lives to the pandemic in the last 24 hours, taking the total death count to 4,52,290. India's recovery rate stands at 98.12%, the highest since March 2020, as a total of 19,582 patients recovered in the last 24 hours. A total of 12,05,162 doses have been administered in the last 24 hours, which brings the total tally to 97,79,47,783. A lawyer has been killed inside a district court complex in Uttar Pradesh's Shahjahanpur. The man has been identified as Bhupendra Singh. His body was found on the third floor of the complex. A country-made pistol was also spotted near the body. Reports say the lawyer was speaking to someone. Suddenly, there was a loud bang and he fell to the floor. According to initial reports, it appears the man was alone. No other person was seen around him at the time of the incident. Forensic team is at work. Circumstances around killing unclear, said S. Anand, Superintendent of Police, Shahjahanpur. At least 23 people have been killed in Kerala since Saturday night as a result of the heavy rains that triggered landslides in the districts of Idukki and Kottayam. 14 have been found dead in Kottayam and 9 in Idukki. Bodies of all reported missing persons have been recovered in the flood and landslide affected districts, as well as the bodies of some who had not been reported yet. On the state government's request, the Army, Navy and Air Force have stepped in to help the civil administration handle the situation. The National Disaster Response Force has decided to deploy 11 teams. Aryan Khan, held in a Mumbai jail over allegations in the drugs on cruise case, promised to be a good citizen and serve the country while being counseled by the Narcotics Control Bureau, NCB sources have said. Superstar Shah Rukh Khan's 23-year-old son has been in jail since October 8th and was briefly in the custody of NCB before that. The anti-drugs agency had arrested Aryan Khan and 7 others after raiding a rave party on a cruise off Mumbai on October 2nd. Aryan Khan, sources say, was counseled by the agency's high-profile zonal director Samir Wankhede, who has been leading the investigation. We counsel every arrested, accused, and it is done for 2 to 3 hours daily during custody, Wankhede told reporters when asked about Aryan Khan. Moving on to the international news, Myanmar will release more than 5,000 people jailed for protesting against a February coup that ousted the civilian government, the country's junta chief said on Monday. A total of 5,636 prisoners will be freed to mark the Thading Youth Festival later in October, Min Aung Hlaing said, days after he was excluded from a regional summit over his government's commitment to defusing the bloody crisis. Myanmar has been mired in chaos since the coup, with more than 1,100 civilians killed in a bloody crackdown on dissent and more than 8,000 arrested, according to a local monitoring coup. More than 7,300 are currently behind bars across the country, according to the Assistance Association for Political Prisoners. Myanmar authorities released more than 2,000 anti-coup protesters from prisons across the country in July, including journalists critical of the military government. Those still in custody include the American journalist Danny Fenster, who has been held since being arrested on May 24th. And now, before we wrap up, the top news headlines once again. Museum and Archives of Manipur Legislative Assembly celebrates completion of 3 years. CCSK commemorates first day of democratic government in Manipur. And Imphal East District Police nabs 2 persons along with drug, recovers arms and ammunition from Andro Maringthale Hills. And that's all for the Primetime English News. Thank you for watching.